if you don't mind. You ready? दोस्तों नमस्कार, आदाब, सत श्री अकाल, वड़क्कम, वेलकम। मैं हूं आपका दोस्त और होस्ट आशीष झा, भारत एफएम से। आज हम यहां मेसन ओहायो में एक जो द कश्मीर फाइल्स जो मूवी है जो विवेक रंजन अग्निहोत्री जी ने बनाई है, वहां पर हम AMC थिएटर में हैं और शाम की जो 6 बजे की जो शो थी वो अभी छूटने वाली है, 9 बजे लोग निकलेंगे। तो हमने हमारे दर्शकों से जानने की कोशिश की कि उनको ये मूवी कैसी लगी। तो सबसे पहले आइए सुनते हैं जो 2 बच्चे हैं जिनका जन्म यहाँ हुआ, जो पले बड़े यहाँ, लेकिन वो उनके जो पेरेंट्स वगैरह हैं वो कश्मीर से हैं, और हम उनसे सबसे पहले जानने की कोशिश करते हैं कि उनको ये मूवी कैसी लगी। हेलो, सो फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल आई वुड लाइक यू टू इंट्रोड्यूस योरसेल्फ एंड देन tell us a little bit about the movie. What was your expectation? How did you like it? What was missing? Everything about it. And first, introduce yourself.
My name is Ashlyn Putt. I'm a Kashmiri Pandit, and my parents are both born and raised in Kashmir. I'm Ayushi Nagpal. I am born in India, but I was raised here with my family, and my parents are also from Kashmir. My mother is.
So, what was your expectation of the movie? So, tell me first about that.
Okay, so honestly, growing up and learning about Kashmir was a pretty big part of my life. I kind of got censored from like the main gory parts of it just because I was a younger kid. Obviously, there's like so much to it that I didn't really get exposed to all of that. But watching the movie and going in, I expected to kind of see like some parts of that. But watching it and seeing like, the true parts of like how Kashmir actually was and still is, like moved me like so deeply.
Wow. Well, how about you?
I'm at a little loss of words, but I agree with the part where we were censored from the gory parts of it because we were young. But there's also so much that they said in the movie that really impacted me. So they talked about how people who've been broken aren't willing to talk. They need to be heard. And so just knowing that, it makes me realize there's so much that I'm missing and that I haven't learned about. So I was expecting more to learn about the story, but I didn't expect it to be as intense.
Okay, all right. So was that a surprise to you that it was very intense?
Definitely.
It was. It described in a lot of detail about the parts that you wouldn't expect to see, the heart-wrenching parts and the gut-terrorizing parts.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for your review, and we just hope that this movie brings out an awareness to the rest of the world and they come to know about the whole story that has not been told to the world so far.
I definitely hope so too, yeah. Because I feel like people, when I say I'm from Kashmir, they kind of like see this one part of it. They see like, oh, it's a divided territory, or it's like, it's in India, it's in Pakistan, it's in China, but they don't see the truth of like the people who are like living there and how they've been like basically like terrorized out of their own like country and everything.
Thank you very much for your time. Thank you very much for expressing your views on the movie.
Yeah,
We appreciate
thank you so
it.
much. Bye.
तो दोस्तों हम यहीं पर रुकते हैं और और भी जो दर्शक हैं वो थोड़ी देर में निकलेंगे, तो हम उनसे बातचीत करेंगे और आपके सामने उनकी जो प्रतिक्रिया है, उनके जो व्यूज़ है वो प्रस्तुत करेंगे। शुक्रिया। So first of all, tell us a little bit about yourself, your name, and what were you expecting of the movie, and what was not there for you in the movie, what was missing in the movie. Tell us a little bit about that.
I wouldn't say anything was missing. My name is Aro, first of all. I expected it to be sad, which it was. It still is sad. It makes me understand like what everybody, like our elders went through in the past. It's really like it's a lot like to handle really. Everybody in the theaters, obviously, like it's a hard moment. Like, it's hard for them to watch.
So from 1 to 5, what would you rate the movie?
Give it a 4 maybe.
Okay. Anything else that you'd like to talk about the movie?
Just as a Kashmiri Pandit, I think it's so important that we are aware of this, and it gives us like a sense of hope for a family that's like still going through this. It's not like it's something that's over, and I think it's important for everyone to learn about this.
Thank you very much for your views. We appreciate it. Thank you very much. So first of all, we would like to know your name and what was your expectation of the movie. Tell us a little bit a review about the movie.
So my name is Partho. So I live in Mason here. The thing is that a lot of facts we don't know about Kashmir in general. This is a true patriot of India has to see this movie. This is not something, we hear a lot about genocide of Jews and stuff like that. but in reality we don't know what actually happened to typical Indians, Kashmir, right? In the sense, this gave a true picture. This is something. This is very emotional movie. It's basically cannot tell in few words, and every true patriot of India has to watch this movie.
So would this movie bring the change that is hope from this movie?
I don't know if it can bring a change, but this is I don't know because I don't know if it can bring a change, but definitely for people like me, it gave a different picture. I mean, you have to see things in different lens, right?
That's right.
I mean, it's a different perspective, and I cannot say more than that.
So between 1 and 5, what would you rate the movie?
So definitely, I think the director and producer put their best efforts. I mean, it's not about the movie in general, the theme and the emotions, you can't explain in few words.
Thank you very much.
It touched like any true Indian, I would say that, the people, right? Yeah, okay.
So what would you rate between 1 and 5?
So I would definitely rate more than 4.
Perfect. Thank you very much. Thanks for your time. I appreciate it. Yeah.
Really thankful to the directors and all the people who have acted in this movie and finally got it on the big screen. They had a courage. This is a true story which we all, as we were little kids, when we have seen this, it is very heartbreaking and a true story that Kashmiri Pandits have gone through. My mom can also say some words about it. Very sad.
Very sad, and we have seen from our own eyes. We were living there at that time, and when this Gunju was killed, we were in Kokar Bazaar at that time, and we saw by our own eyes his killing, and we ran away.
Oh my God.
Yes,
Okay.
we were there, all three of us.
That is very difficult to go
My
through.
2 kids were with me. These 2 daughters, they holded my hand and we ran from there.
So from this movie, what do you expect? What change can come through this movie? What can be done different after this movie?
Given justice to Kashmiri Pandits,
And people will come to know about the reality, what most of the people don't know, what has happened to Kashmiri Pandits. And this all tells about them, what really happened, because even if we ask anyone, they don't know what we have gone through. Yes, it's only the Kashmiri Pandits who know what has happened to us. But nobody else knows what we have gone through. It was really hard.
Right. I would like to have your opinion as well. Sorry. What do you think?
it is finally I would say it is a scar for entire life. We have gone, all the Kashmiri Pandits have gone through trauma some or the other way.
That is true. I know it is definitely difficult, but thanks for your views. Thanks for your review. We appreciate it. Thank you very much. So, first of all, we would like to know your name and what were your expectations of the movie and how would you review the movie?
Yeah, my name is Sitaram Boinapalli. I am here in Mason, Ohio. I saw this movie and I was really shocked, to be honest. I was in plus 2 in 1990. And, to be honest, I did not know the history.
Okay.
After seeing this movie, I got a very good insights. Actually, what happened, facts, like how horrific it was, genocide. Literally, they showed how barbaric, the Kashmiri Pandits were killed in their own country.
Right.
And it was so unfortunate looking at this, and and now I have come to know about मेरे आंखें खुल गए ये देखने के बाद क्या हुआ है.
Right.
So now I'm going to go back and research more to know more about the facts. And I'm so embarrassed or shameful that the government of India 1990 we got independence in 1947.
Yeah.
And it's been almost how many, like 43 or 43 years we got independence, 1990.
Right.
And that time, how can the government of India be so
Completely
quiet?
ignorant, yeah.
Ignorant. Is it because of the vote bank, or were they that covered? Courage. We had army, we had everything, all the forces, right? They could have sent the armed forces and really get rid of this and made sure that they could have really secured the Kashmiri Pandits who are part of our country.
Right.
And other thing is what I noticed in the movie Kashmir, they are not even showing a part of India.
Yeah.
How can that be?
Yeah.
You know, I understand there is a Pakistan occupied Kashmir, or other things, but still Kashmir is part and parcel of India, Jammu and Kashmir, right? But that is so barbaric. I never thought that this happened in India.
Yeah, I know.
And it's killing, looking at those horrific things, right, how they were executed.
Right.
I don't have words really, and I feel so sympathetic, and I pray to all those departed souls. And
So anything in the movie that you thought was missing that you would like to comment on?
missing in the sense, obviously action was not taken, in the sense like the government of India should have really stepped up, and they should have put this, they should have nipped it in the bud in the very first place. That they looked at it, they did a deaf ear, and they did not really pay attention to it, and I think that's the reason they have happened. Had they dealt it with the iron fist, I don't think it would have really happened.
So between 1 and 5, what would you rate the movie?
What is one
On the
five?
so 1 is poor and 5 is the best.
5 is the best.
Okay.
In the sense when I say best, it really सबके आंखें खुल गए जो तो मैं आपके बारे में बोल रहा हूँ, मेरे को इसका बारे में पता भी नहीं था. अब देखने के बाद मेरे को पता चला ऐसा हुआ अपना देश में. And we have discovered the truth, the facts, what happened.
Right.
So रूबरू करा दिए facts के साथ. So अब ये मालूम हो गया क्या हो गया. अभी जाके research कर सकते हैं. But at least that's a thing we have come to know, get insights in the history.
Thank you very much for your reviews and
Yeah,
thank
sure.
you for your views.
Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate
Jai
it.
Hind.
Jai Hind.
Yeah.
Hello. So we would like to know your name and how was the movie. We would like to get a review from you about the movie, and how are you personally connected to the Kashmir files?
My name is Simran Tigbu. The movie was definitely traumatizing, I would say. I am in KOA Youth, so Kashmir Overseas Association, the youth organization. So we were doing a lot, and I've been knowing about this movie for a bit, but I haven't obviously I didn't watch it until now. And it's one thing to hear it from your parents and your grandparents of what they went through, but it's another thing watching it. And movies do a really good job, and this movie did a very good job of displaying the trauma and the emotions that all the Kashmiri pundits went through. So at least for our generation, this is probably a very important movie, because it helps Kashmiri youth like me fully understand what our parents went through, because like I said, it's one thing to hear it, but there's another thing to watch it and feel it through those emotions. So I think it's a vital movie.
Is there anything in the movie that you felt was not there that you expected in the movie?
I mean, I've heard all the stories. I've heard the stories about the rice and how the wife had to eat the rice of her husband's blood, and then I heard the story about the being cut up
At the end, in the climax, yeah.
So I've heard all these stories. I've heard worse. I've heard my friends in KOA Youth, their family stories. So it's not anything new that I haven't heard, but it's also again it's crazy to watch it and see that happen, because that's not something it's hard to visualize what that feeling is and seeing it.
And what do you think this movie will do to the audience who were completely unaware of the whole facts that was not presented to them earlier, and how this movie can change the perception, the thought process that people have about Kashmir?
So I brought my roommate with me. She had no idea anything about all of this. Obviously, I do talk a little bit about my KOA Youth and what I do about it, but there isn't that. She didn't know the whole story, but she watched it and I talked to her about it, and she was very she was shocked, I guess.
Yeah. I would like your friend also to talk about it if possible. So we would like to know your views, as she mentioned that you were not aware of any of this thing that you just saw in the movie. What is your reaction? What is going through your mind right now?
I mean, yeah, honestly, obviously, sometimes, my parents will talk about, they'll mention, Kashmir, Pakistan, stuff like that, but, I personally, never ever had interest in, learning about what's going on in the world, news-wise. So, just seeing this, it's incredibly, eye-opening, that, there's stuff like this that happened, more than just, the basic, Holocaust. There's, issues that happened like ongoing in India that I had no idea about. It's just eye-opening and it was shocking to watch. And I'm glad I watched it because like I just feel more like aware and also like more connected to like her because like she is actually Kashmiri, but you know.
Thank you very much for your views, and we truly appreciate your views. Thank you very much. So we would like to know your name first of all, and how is this movie related to you, and what were your views after watching it?
Namaskar. My name is Pradman Tikku. I live in Mason, and I'm a Kashmiri Pandit. I am shocked once again. I have seen this with my open eyes. I am the victim of it. I still remember the day when I ran away from my home with my sister. We were in a truck, similar way you saw a scene there. We were in a truck running away from Kashmir. We came to Jammu. This was the same about time when announcements were happening all over the mosques and all the places that Reliu, Gelu, Tselu, either you convert to Muslims or you die or you run away. And most of these people were all after youth of Kashmir, and I was youth at the time. I was, I think, I was 22 years old, and my sister is a young elder one, and so we were trying to save ourselves. And so a lot of people ran away. We had nothing to take along, and we just ran in an apple truck and saved ourselves. So all the stories are beautifully captured. I want to thank Agnihotri ji, Vivek ji, and the whole team. Anupam ji has done excellent work. Dada has done a great job. These excellent cast. Excellent. I don't think anyone else could have done any better than this. Obviously, what you see in the movie is about 10% what happened.
Yeah.
And there's another 90% which people don't know, but I'm so glad that the movie talks clearly about what has happened, and it will spread the awareness in the larger Indian community and the larger other communities and foreign communities about what happened to us. It was truly a genocide, and as they said, this was the seventh genocide, or seventh exodus of Kashmiri Pandits. There is no more Kashmiri Pandits left on the land. There may be a few, they're just wandering around. I'm looking forward to someday go back to the land.
How do you think this movie will bring a change in the thought process of people, and if it is doing that job of what was the intent of the movie was, is that intent being brought up in the movie, and do you think that will make a difference?
Absolutely. I think if you and me are speaking today, talking today, this is the big thing, right? There have been so many movies made on Kashmir before, and nobody talked about it, anything, and there was nothing really to show for. There was nothing really, anything substance in those movies. I think this movie, as we are already seeing, is going to the every part of the India, the larger community. The awareness is coming. You see, my daughter, she was talking about it. Her friends, they're talking about it. The whole India is right now talking about what had happened. So the biggest thing what this movie is doing is actually showing what was not shown before, talking about what was hidden. What governments at the time and officials at the time and people that kept them to themselves, and they never let it go out. The books were written incorrectly, and the facts were maligned. So this movie is actually helping the cause. Is helping people to understand the reality. So I think I'm already seeing a lot of reviews across, and people are understanding the reality, and people are waking up. And I think this needs to continue. I think we need to claim Kashmir back. It is once was a heaven, and we want to bring that heaven back to India. It has always been a part of India. It will continue to be a part of India, and we hope to go back there all of us and live back there again how we used to live before.
Thank you very much. Jai Hind. Thank
Jai
you very much
Hind, Jai Hind. Thank you, Vivek ji. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, you all. Thank you for taking time and talking to us. We greatly appreciate your time. Thank you
Thank you
so
very
much.
much. Thank you.
We're so touched.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Is that it? तो दोस्तों जैसा कि आपने सुना कि एक इट वाज अ वेरी हम्बल एंड ऑनेस्ट अटेम्प्ट बाय मिस्टर विवेक रंजन अग्निहोत्री जी, जिन्होंने काफ़ी रिसर्च की इस मूवी के ऊपर, बिकॉज ही बिलीव्स दैट व्हेन अ मूवी इज प्रेजेंटिंग समथिंग it needs to present facts as much as possible. And that was viewed from his previous movie, The Tashkent Files. Similarly, he has done a great job with this movie, The Kashmir Files, to the point, no nonsense, and it basically brought to you all the facts about Kashmir, about the story of Kashmir, unfortunate story that happened. And we would basically convey all our regards to him and his team for doing this wonderful job and making the world aware of what Kashmir is all about and what is the true story of Kashmir. So with that, we will come to an end of this show. Bajega Bharat, Jhumega Bharat. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.